Today is the day we're gonna film the Q&A. We are going to do kind of like a mukbang style, so I'm gonna stop by H Mart first.
I was in it the whole time. Yo, redo that.
Just for today, let's take the long way home. I need some more time.
Ready. Okay, so we made tteokbokki, and then this we just bought 오징어 김밥 and sundae. So I asked you guys on Instagram for questions. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
So the most popular question was how we met. Basically, we met back in 2019 when I first moved to New York, but then we reconnected when I started living with my current roommate right now, because she was dating June's roommate. Well, they're now engaged. If you saw my Oregon vlog, yeah, that's how we started hanging out.
My other roommate, Song, wanted to take photos of us because he was like into photography. And then the night prior, I told him that I had feelings for you and then I was going to like confess to you. Remember that day was really awkward. You kept on saying like, what's wrong? And I was just like, hey, like I like you, I'm gonna start pursuing you.
But yeah, that's how it happened. How was your first date?
I guess the first time we hung out alone.
Yeah, the first time we ever hung out just one-on-one, because it was always in group settings when we went climbing. And then like our first official date was Jeju Noodle Bar. Yeah. What does June do for work?
So I'm a high school teacher. I teach living environment or bio, and then I teach seniors AP environmental.
If anyone took APES in high school, what's one quality that attracted you to your partner the most?
Nothing. There's no one adjective that can just describe what I like about you. It's a lot of bit of how you act in different situations, all combined. This doesn't translate 100%, but you're very like pure and innocent. Not in the fact like, you know, her emotions are very pure. So like when she's happy, it's like pure just joy. When she's mad, it's just pure like anger, you know? It's very straightforward. Yeah, I kind of like that. You're very true to your feelings. It's really cute when she's happy because there's like just so much joy in all your movements.
Someone asked, how do you balance between being together all the time and giving each other space? So we live very close to each other. Like it's walking distance. And I thought I was someone who liked personal space, but he loves personal space. So that was something that we kind of like had to talk through, finding that balance.
And then she won, so I have no personal. We're just gonna end up fighting. These questions are gonna make us fight.
So someone also asked like, what are your love languages? And mine, quality time is one of the top, and yours is like last.
I don't really need quality time as long as I see you here and there.
Yeah, like
Because for me, because like we text so much, so I count that towards quality time.
we text a lot.
I really like texting.
I much prefer the FaceTime calls we have like at night. Like we don't have to text all day. I wouldn't be upset.
No, I like texting throughout the day. Because I have so much
I
shit.
didn't know that.
I have like so much stuff on my mind. I kind of want to tell you as soon as I think of it. Because by the time I get to the end of the day, I'm just so exhausted. I don't remember. I like texting you exactly how I feel in that moment. So if I found something funny, then I'll text you right away because later in the day, it's not that funny anymore.
I guess physical touch is pretty high for me too. That one we're like similar.
Well, that's like quality time is hand in hand. Because usually while we're alone, she's touching me.
What are your zodiac signs? I'm a Libra, June is an Aquarius. Do your personalities match well? We're very different, but we complement each other.
Yeah, personalities are very
Yeah,
different.
we're very different. People think I'm a chill person, but I'm really not, especially compared to him. Like
type A.
But the thing is, I'm only like that
With me?
in a relationship. Yeah, like with my friends, I'm not so much, right?
Which I don't mind because, I mean, it helps to like do stuff because or else we just won't do anything.
With like my emotions, I guess, I'm very like wata wata or like up and down, but you're always consistent. just how you feel living life. I'm sometimes like over the moon, like so happy, and then other weeks I don't want to talk to anyone, I don't want to like do anything. You're always just chilling. Would you guys move in together? No.
No, not until marriage.
Why? You can explain.
I wouldn't move in with you because I want my personal space. I want the moment when I move in with you to be special, or I want a clear distinction before marriage and after marriage. And I feel like moving in is part of the package of marriage, you know? I mean, but I have friends that they live together and they're not married and they love it. They said it's honestly like the greatest thing ever. I'm not like against it because, you know, I don't know. Maybe it is the greatest thing ever, but...
And look, I've heard the thing where people were like, oh, they want to try it out before getting married because you never know. What if you guys find out you're not like a good fit? I do agree with that in some aspects, but I feel like if we got to the point where we're like, all right, I want to like marry you, then those lifestyle differences, I feel like those things would be things that we would be able to work through.
Or we should be able to.
Yeah, like we should be able to communicate those problems. I don't know. That's just like my opinion. You have some in my tea?
No.
Who said I love you first and how did you know? You said it first.
I think I said it first. This is really cheesy.
I love cheesy.
I asked the same thing to my youngs, but they always have the same answer, and I kind of get it. You know when they say, when you know, you know. That's honestly the best way to describe it. Because it's not just one thing. It's not just one moment you're like, oh, I love her because of this. Some people maybe come to that realization in one single moment, but then some other people, it's just over time. There's no like distinct line where I was one day like, oh, I love this girl. It was just kind of over the relationship. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they wanted a more juicy answer.
Well, you're doing good.
First time I saw her naked, I was like, oh, I love this girl. On the couch. That's the moment I realized I wanted to pursue you. On the couch, yeah.
Well, now you have to explain.
It was like me, my roommate, and her. We were talking, and then I honestly forgot what you said.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, but I just remember looking at you and be like, whoa, this girl knows me. Yeah, I was like, whoa, this girl understands. That's when in my eyes, you became from a friend to an interest. That's when the flip switched. Yeah. Before that, she was just some any other girl.
Were you open about your previous relationships early on? Yes.
Yes.
Very early. I don't really have a past. You don't really have a past either.
No.
Nothing that like bothers me. I think you were more open first, which made me feel like, oh, okay, whatever. But the thing is, I get curious, so I asked you, but you're not really curious. Like, I'm an open book if you ask me, but you were never like you never probed with questions.
I mean, it's so irrelevant. Like, what does your past have to do with?
I mean, some people care. Like, I care.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I asked you. I just wanted to know.
For me, I don't care. It's like, I was such a different person back then. So.
I think the reason I get curious is because there's so much you can learn from your past relationships. That's why I want to know, like, oh, what kind of relationships were you in the past? Like, I don't really care about, like, that person.
Yeah.
It's more just like, oh, what was the relationship like? Why did it end?
I mean, I don't really mind. As long as it works now, I can't be upset at it.
Okay. One of the questions, what kind of couple are we in group settings? Oh, this is Sung, by the way, June's roommate. Is that her question?
No, I'm just trying to think how truthful to answer this.
Do we do PDA?
Are we annoying?
No. You guys don't do PDA, nor do you guys...
Are we like lovey-dovey?
No.
I don't think so.
You guys are definitely, like, pretty attached.
Attached, really?
But not, like, in a PDA way. You guys, like, roam together and you guys move around together.
AKA I follow him around.
It's like you see me walking, you see S. See, that's considered quality time for me.
What, me following you around?
This is when I leave.
Because even if we're in group settings and like you're next to me, I consider that quality time. But you consider only like one-on-one quality time. I feel like we could have quality time within group settings.
Yeah, but it's different, right? Is it different for you?
It's different.
You don't say the same things to me when like Sung's here than when it's just us two.
Yeah, that's for Sung's sake.
He thinks we bicker a lot.
No. I was thinking about that.
He says we bicker a lot, like mom and dad.
You'll say something and the response out of Esther has to be like, no, or like, okay, like, you know?
What is one thing you learned from each other?
I learned how to be more sensitive, or like how to be more empathetic. Dude, because when you're single, it's just like all about you, you know? I can't just think about myself anymore. Like all my actions now, it's like, oh, how would this make Esther feel? Or what about Esther?
I guess my answer is kind of different though. I feel like you contemplate more about like life, like the meaning of life, your purpose in life and stuff. And I never did that, but that's something I started to think about more. Is because you would ask me questions like, what do you want your legacy to be? What gets you up in the morning?
The important questions.
When you would ask me those questions, I never had an answer. So I started like thinking about it more. You know, like you should have like a bigger purpose for like why you're doing something.
Yeah, like if you wake up one day and you're 70 years old, you want to look back and be like, you know, I did something.
Yeah.
Like I didn't just waste my life.
What's one thing that annoys you about each other?
It's when she does get mad, she kind of distances herself.
What is that called? Stonewalling?
Or I don't know, not even like distancing, she just shuts down. It's very hard to just get anything out of her. I'm the person that if there's a problem, I want to resolve it. She needs time to kind of reflect on it, but I want to fix it in the moment. That waiting period is hard for me. For me, like talking
Processes
through
it?
it helps me process it. Talking it over with someone else kind of helps me realize their point of view. Because if I'm by myself, I'm just gonna always support my own side, you know? I'm gonna just pour more into my reasoning. So I need like the opposition in front of me to make me realize, oh, maybe I was wrong.
That was another question. Do you guys ever argue and how do you resolve it?
I can count on one hand the number of times we had arguments.
I just need that time because remember that one time where we were fighting and we were both clearly angry,
Yeah.
and so we both weren't listening and we just kept spitting out our side. Like
And then I
I was
left.
so emotionally fueled, so I just kept saying things that didn't make sense, and then you got mad about that. You were saying things and then I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense, and then both of us are like, you don't understand. It turns into a bigger fight. That's why I like to just chill out, process it,
Yeah.
and then talk about it, because otherwise I'm gonna make zero sense. I think another thing though is, well, at least for me, I pick and choose my battles a lot.
Yeah.
Like there are definitely some things would annoy me here and there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really not worth it.
If it's small enough where you can overlook it.
Okay, we had to switch over to my phone because my camera died and I didn't bring my charger. What were we saying?
I was saying like we're both human, we're both imperfect, so you can't let these small things hinder you from the bigger picture. Small things that may annoy you, you have to realize like, do you like this person enough where those things don't really matter at the end of the day. The things that piss me off are also the reasons why I like her. I like all of you, right? If I only like the good parts of you, that means I don't really like you, you know? So like the things that do piss me off, that's still who you are, and that's like, I like that part about you. Even in the moment it might annoy me, it still like makes up who you are, and at the end of the day I still like that about you.
When did you charge it off?
I never did. I'm still waiting for that day.
Does it scare you sometimes that your relationship is public? Any reservations?
The biggest fear I have is my students finding her. But besides that, I don't really care.
Like, yes, I show you in my videos and on like social media, but other than this video, I've never disclosed any information about you.
No, I don't care about being in her videos. I just didn't want to be like a podcast because I am bad with my words. I've been telling her to start her podcast, but she's like, I know, but I have no one to interview.
There's like two parts to why I've held off for so long. I kind of told you. Well, one was the pressure. I felt a lot of pressure for wanting this to be like, or the podcast to be good, because this comeback needs to be like the best.
Epic. You always talk about like your first episode has to be this.
It has to be like
grandeur
perfect.
thing, yeah.
And then the second thing was, now that there's a comment section, I was kind of
Oh, 'cause
scared.
it's on YouTube.
Yeah, now people can give their
yeah.
inputs and their opinions. But like the thing is, if I'm gonna do YouTube, like I shouldn't be afraid of it. And so when I post videos, I don't really think about that. But with the podcast, because it was such a vulnerable thing that I did,
But
so it was just like a lot of fear on my end. How do you keep a healthy relationship? I don't know, you can't ask.
yeah, you can't ask us.
I'm just kidding. In order to have a healthy relationship, you kind of have to be in a healthy place on your
Yourself,
own.
yeah.
You know?
You have to be in a place where you're able to trust someone else. If you're insecure yourself, then you're just gonna doubt everything. But yeah, bigger picture. bigger picture. Like, why do you like them in the first place?
I think that too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no, no.
why am I dating him?
Not even like why am I dating him? It's like really worth it. And I'm like, and I start thinking, I'm like, yeah, it is. Yo, it's like really stupid moments where like I'm playing basketball with my roommates and I like promised to go make dinner for her. Like, my friends still want to play basketball, but I have to leave early. But like in the moment, like you're just having so much fun. You're like, oh, do I have to leave? And then I think about it. I'm like, yeah, I do want to leave.
All right, well, we're just gonna wrap up the Q&A here. Thank you for doing this with me.
Nice meeting you guys.
Yes, officially.
Bye.